Hello and welcome to this webinar. In today's session, we'll look at the sequencer and watch folder features within Kofax Power PDF and see how we can automate repetitive tasks and improve your productivity. My name is Lee Trevelyan and I'm one of the consultant sales engineers here at Kofax, and I'll be taking you through today's session. Here are the topics I'm going to run through in today's session. What is the sequencer and how can we use this to help my PDF document processing? What is a watch folder? How can this be used to improve my productivity? How can we combine the power of the sequencer and the watch folder? I'll run through a demonstration and show each of these features in action. Although these are the topics we're covering today, please look out for further Do More with Power PDF webinars, where we'll be uncovering more features over the coming months. Finally, I'm sure you'll have some questions as we run through the session. Please use the chat feature to submit your questions and we'll try and answer them all at the end. The sequencer is a tool that can help make your document processing quicker. With this tool, you can create a sequence that can perform an operation on your file, such as add a company header, remove a blank page, or apply a confidential watermark. Running a sequence makes a previously repetitive task simple and quick. You can also combine sequences so multiple tasks can be performed in one operation, making you even more productive. Select any Windows folder to be your source workhorse folder. Choose if only a specific file type should be detected or all the file types Power PDF supports, over 25. Choose the destination folder for your process files and simply drop a file into the source folder and sit back. Your output files can even be text searchable PDFs. We can combine the sequencer and watch folder feature to really automate those repetitive tasks without even opening Power PDF. Just configure them both and drop a file in your watch folder and all the processing will take place in the background. Let's look at what we'll see in the demo. A simple sequence such as adding a company logo to all our pages. We'll add multiple sequences together such as deleting blank pages, adding a confidential watermark and encrypting the file. We'll look at the watch folder and do a simple convert to text searchable PDF. We'll combine the watch folder and sequencer features we've seen previously. And we'll look at processing documents in the background. We will look at just these areas today out of the many features packed into Power PDF. And just a reminder, if you have any questions, please pop them into the chat window. Moving over to my desktop now, we'll look at the sequencer. So if we come up to the ribbon toolbar under Advanced Processing, you'll see Sequencer is here. And this opens the sequencer window, and I've already got a number of sequences here. We're going to create a new one and we're going to call this company header. We'll click OK, and this is the menu we now get. So you'll see we can select our commands. Down the left hand side here are all the different actions or we can add to the sequence. As you'll see, we've got things like encrypt, apply redactions. We can remove document elements, we can add headers and footers, delete pages, rotate pages, etc. So for this demo, we're going to add a watermark. So I highlight that, click on add, and if we expand that, you'll see what we've actually got selected already. I'm going to click edit, and you'll see this is the default watermark that was selected. And there's a number of standard watermarks, confidential or do not copy, that are actually already in our watermarks here. I've already created a company header one, so you'll see our logo in the top right hand corner here. We can apply this to either all the pages or specific page range, odd or even pages, and we can alter the appearance. We'll click OK, and I'm happy with this now. Click OK again, and we can now decide when the sequence is run, so we can run it on selected files, folders. We can prompt the user or any of the open files we have already. I'm going to ask when the sequence is run. We also can select the output location, so we can specify different folders. or we can ask when the sequence is run again. We'll put it in the same folder as the original. And then we have some output options. So we can actually append to the actual file name. So here I'm just going to put processed underscore so we can differentiate from the original file. And just to be careful, we'll also select do not overwrite existing files. We can also save this as a number of different formats. So here in the drop down list you'll see all the different PDF standards that we can save this file as well as a load of other file formats here. So for our demo here, we're going to leave this just a PDF document, select OK, and then OK again, and there's our company header. Just before I actually run this, I'm going to quickly open the document that we're going to use here. So here you see our document, and if I just alter the size, you'll see there's no logo applied to this document at all in the top right hand corner. So we'll close that document. We'll then run the sequence. It tells me a summary of what we're going to actually do with this sequence here. I'll click OK. It now prompts me for the file. So here was that file we just looked at. I select that, and now we've actually applied those sequences. So if I just drag my file explorer over, you'll see here's the file we've just created, processed blank agreement from the blank agreement. And when I open that, we can now see the logo has been placed in the top right hand corner, so our watermark applied to all the pages in the document. So that's the step-by-step process to create a sequence. Let's move on to making a more complicated sequence that can save you even more time. So here we've got a document, and if I come into document assembly, you'll see I've got a number of blank pages throughout the document. So I want to remove these blank pages. So we come to advanced processing sequencer, and we're going to create another new sequence. This time we're going to call it blank pages, confidential, and encrypt. So I'm going to do three actions here. So I come up, select commands, and the first one is to delete pages. I click on add, and when I edit this now, I get a number of different options, and one of them is blank pages. I could also, by the way, search for a particular phrase or word and search delete pages with that word on. Click OK. And now we're going to add another watermark to this page here. So I click on edit, and this time I'm going to put the confidential watermark across each of the pages. We'll click OK. And then we'll add our last sequence here, which is going to be to encrypt the actual file. So this is actually going to put a password on. You'll see at the moment there's no security. I'm going to use password security here. And here's our security menu. I'm going to put a password on the actual document opening. I could also restrict permissions here, but we'll just do the document open password. When I click OK, it asks me to confirm the password here. So obviously any sequences that I use this on will all have the same password now. Click OK. And here we'll just use all open files. And click OK. And then we'll run the sequence. I get a summary. The files will remain open and unsaved, which is important when encrypting. We click OK, you'll see the pages are deleted, and there's our confidential watermark added. So the last thing in this step, I need to actually save the document to apply the security. So we'll save this as a processed and secured document. So now if I actually close this document and then open it again, so I drag my file explorer on, here's our process secured version. First thing it asks me is to enter the password. So we'll put the incorrect password in. So it tells me it's incorrect. We'll then put the correct password in. and you'll see we've opened the document and there's our multiple sequences now applied to the document. You can see how we can create multiple actions in one sequence to reduce those repetitive tasks. Let's take a look at the watch folder now. So again, under our advanced processing tab, you see watched folder. And when we open this, you'll see we have our source and destination folders. So the first thing I need to do is click on source and select an input folder. So I've created already on my desktop a folder called watch folder. So I'll select that. And then we select an output folder where the file is going to end up. So again, on my desktop, I've created a folder and just named it output folder. So just to highlight, on the source folder, we can select the type of files that we'll allow to be processed and dropped into there. We'll just leave it at all supported file types, and again we can include subfolders here. On the destination type, here we're going to select our output type, so I'm actually going to select searchable PDF here. And we have under settings the ability to change the OCR language. We'll leave this at English. And a couple of other options, such as the PDF file type we're going to save as, and you'll see there's over 20 different PDF file types. And I'm going to select optimize for web viewing as one of our options. The finished source files we can choose to keep, delete or move. I'm going to delete them. And then finally we can actually select the CPU options, and this is dependent upon your actual PC specification. I can have up to 4 files being processed in parallel, or if we want them sequentially, we'll leave it set to 1, and this will affect the background speed of operation. I'm going to enable our watch folder, click on OK, and just minimize our Power PDF. And I'll just rearrange our folders now on the desktop so you can see them. And then what I'll do is just drag over our other folder with our source document in. Here's my Word document. So I'm just going to copy this Word document, paste it in my watched folder. So there's our Word document. And I'll just drag on our little watch and convert window, which gives us a view of what's actually happening in the background. This is in the taskbar if you want to maximize it. So the document's picked up, processed, and you'll see we have now completed. This is done. We could view the log. And there's our agreement PDF. We've converted from Word to PDF. And this is the document now open and fully converted to a text searchable PDF document. So you can see that the watch folder is just a simple drag and drop feature within Power PDF to help speed up your processes. So let's now bring these features together. So I'm in my sequencer here. I'm just going to edit this sequence, and this is the one we created earlier where we deleted blank pages, we added the confidential watermark and put a password onto the document. So if we now come back to our watched folder, we'll keep the same source and destination folders, but look at this use workflow. If I use this drop down now, you can see my blank pages sequence at the very bottom. So I'll select that now, and this is going to apply this sequence to any files that we now drop into our watch folder. So we'll close Power PDF down completely. We don't need this open. And then I'll rearrange our watched and output folders. Here we're going to use the Power PDF file with the blank pages in. I'll now copy this, paste it into our watched folder, and then I'll bring our watch window so we can see this processing. I should just highlight at this point, the only reason I've got these folders open like this is so you can see what's happening. You can cut and paste files between your watched folder and your source folder as you would normally prefer to do. Once it's complete, you'll see it now appears in our output folder. So now if I open this file, actually on my other screen the open password prompt has appeared, so I'll just drag that over to this screen. I'll input the password, and the file now opens again on my other screen, so I'll just drag that across. We'll go into document assembly, and you can see the same sequence has now been applied simply just by dragging and dropping that file into my watch folder that I've now associated that sequencer to. Finally, I should just mention our watch and convert viewer. Here you can see our list of tasks. We can click on the view log, and this shows us all the conversions and activities we've done in the background. This can be really useful if you don't have Power PDF open and you've got various tasks running in the background. Once they are finished, you can clear those finished tasks, and you'll see there is also a pause option now if you are processing an extra long file, which is slowing your PC down and you need to temporarily pause the process. To summarise this session, we have seen the power of the sequencer in Power PDF and how we can combine multiple actions on your files in one operation. We've also seen how the watch folder can not only convert files to PDFs, but also, used in combination with a sequencer, can perform multiple actions in a workflow to eliminate tedious processes from your daily PDF activities. We're now going to move over to our Q&A session, so if you haven't already put any questions you've got in the chat window, please do so now.